You guys all read the script, right?
Lana, Ramon vouches for them. I vouch for him.
These three were my best friends.
Fuck those guys.
Everybody love everybody!
Hello there, everybody. Welcome to Vouch for Me. The quote-unquote bad movie of the week is going to be Reed's Notes, Kung Pao Enter the Fist. I am your host, Abel, joined by PapaNasty.
Hey.
And Eric.
Oh my god.
You sound like that fucking one Lil Wayne song, like Mrs. Officer or something like that.
I know, it sounds more like an ambulance. I don't feel like I have her wee-oo down.
No.
No,
she's like wee. Yeah, I get it. What is that, Eric? What the hell are you doing?
Like a cop car. Give it to me. I want to hear it then, PapaNasty. How does she do it?
Yeah, she's like wee. That's how she does it.
Wee-oo.
No.
Say it again.
Wee. That's how she does it. Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
Wee-oo.
Yeah, wee. Your voice is cracking.
I felt it.
Do
I
it
got a little.
again.
I mean, it's yeah.
Cracking like the spiced rum.
Okay, I got it. Whatever. All right.
You need more liquids.
Anyways, moving on.
That's what you need to do.
Steve Odenkirk, he did something ridiculous. Like
He was too preoccupied with whether or not he didn't stop to think if he should. In retrospect, that pretty much sums up the movie in general.
Oh my god. You guys won't believe this. Critic score is 17% on Rotten Tomato, but somehow the audience score has 69%, and I think that's so appropriate. But Abel, man, ask us the big questions. I want to hear what you thought genuinely, and then take it from there.
I went into this knowing it was going to be strange, considering the clip that PapaNasty sent to us in the group chat, but like the longer it went on, the more I was just like, what the fuck is this that I'm watching? What the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
None of this makes any sense.
None of it makes
like the bad CGI, the fucking doll props, the poor dubbing, and like the clearly like edited video.
Hey, but the green screen was on point. The editing was great. It was the CGI that was mid for the 2000s.
I think that was on purpose, considering this movie looks like it was made with $5 and Windows Movie Maker.
Windows Movie Maker on Windows XP.
Yeah. Did Vista even come out yet? I can't remember.
When was the first time you saw this movie?
Dude, God knows. But this fucking movie is like a family movie. Like, we've all seen it. My dad was like the uncle that showed all the cousins the film when they came over, and any get together, we still reference the movie to this day with the fucking like the stupid noises and just the dumb jokes. And it's a terrible movie. We just love it.
Hey, it's charming. It's so charming. It caught me off guard when we started it. And later, I think it'd be fun to read a few reviews, because the critics, I don't know, I feel like critics are just unfunny because they just don't get it sometimes. But I love one of the critics that are like, this is a sketch worth of jokes that was dragged out into a full movie. And I was like, I mean, I see it, but also they always, right when you think the movie's getting dull, they hit you with like a stupid joke and you're like, I'm back in, I'm invested.
I'm pulling up the letterbox right now just to see the reviews.
Nice. Yeah, maybe we should save it for whatever the hell. PapaNasty, how should we do it?
I'm not proud of it, but I cried laughing every time that woman went wee. That's not. Is this your burner account, Eric? Is this your burner letterbox account? Because you can't stop talking about that gag.
I don't know why, because it gets stuck in your head. At first, I was like, "Shut up!" And then by the fifth time she did it, I was like, "Hey, this is great."
You pervert! You're laughing.
What? No, I loved it. Yeah, look who's talking.
Yeah.
The way she kept taking off her clothes and putting them back on.
Yeah.
But we'll talk. That's a good bit later. PapaNasty, how should we do this episode today? Because you this is your movie, so how should we break it down? Like,
first budget was $10 million. Box office, 17 million. The director, the producer, the main actor was Steve Odenkirk. You want to dive into that a little bit, Eric, and blow their minds?
Great way to save the budget when you only have one person doing the movie.
I mean, he's pretty fucking amazing, Abel.
Oh yeah, like props to him. Like, I don't know if I could have shot a movie like this by myself in high school for film class or some shit.
Okay, before we even talk about the movie, we have to talk about Steve Odenkirk. Turns out we love him. Did you know that we loved him? Abel, you loved him. I loved him. We all loved him. PapaNasty loved him.
Yep.
You loved him, Abel. We all loved Steve Odekirk growing up. We had no idea.
High five.
Because let me walk you through the movies that at least he's been a writer on. Movies, I don't necessarily, they don't hit me the same way they hit other people. But Odekirk was a stand-up comedian before he went into making films. I looked up some stuff from the 80s, and he has some, 10, 15-minute little specials. He's a goofy little goofball, but he wrote and direct Ace Ventura, which is one of those big ones everyone loves. But it was When Nature Calls. I don't know if
That's a good one.
that's not the first. Oh, that's a good one.
That's a
Good.
good
That's
one.
what I want to
Yeah.
hear. The Nutty Professor, he wrote that one.
That's really good.
I don't know Nothing to Lose, but that one at least looks goofy. Patch Adams. Isn't that a sad one?
I haven't seen that. I'm looking at it right now. I've seen Bruce Almighty and Barnyard.
Yep. No, I know. I was going to get to that. That he did Bruce Almighty. He did Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius, and he also did Barnyard. But in addition to doing the movies, he also was responsible for the production company that made the TV shows. And I loved Jimmy Neutron growing up. And so now knowing that, I can't even believe he did that.
He was Snotty Boy in Barnyard. That's
No
called
way.
cow tipping. Ha ha ha.
What the?
He was also Snotty Boy's father, apparently.
No, that's great because you mentioned how that's a very, very quotable line from Barnyard. So it's amazing Steve Odekirk
No more
is the one
Red Bull for you.
The last movie that he did, I can see, was Cowboys and Aliens, which looked cool from the trailers.
I never got around to seeing it, but I did want to see it because it looked so fucking stupid. And especially because, wasn't Daniel Craig riding off the hype of, Quantum of Solace at that point in time still? Or, just the 007 movies in general?
And then he was like, you know what? Let me go fuck around and just go do something completely
And
random.
let me go do a weird movie for no reason.
Oh, and you know what's crazy? He was a writer for In Living Color. And isn't that where...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, isn't that where Jim Carrey got really famous?
Yep. That's like the OG, early skits that were African American based, and they did a bunch of they did a bunch of early SNL. But I think they were before SNL actually, but they did the skits. They had all the stuff. They made fun of people, but then they just ended up dying out.
Yeah, my parents used to watch that. They used to have old reruns on certain channels, when we got DirecTV. But it's crazy. He dated back all the way to then, is what I'm trying to say. Turns out, incredible guy. The only two things he's proud of, when you ask him about everything he's worked on, he only cares about Kung Pao, Enter the Fist, and he cares about thumbs.
Yeah.
I don't know much about thumbs.
Probably because this is his masterpiece as far as he's concerned.
His magnum opus?
Yeah. Yeah, he has a weird thing with thumbs.
Here's another letterbox review from Paul. Lord, I smoked a lot of pot in high school. Memory sure did have me remembering this is a 5 out of 5 masterpiece.
What the fuck?
Bro, I'm telling you, the critic reviews, I'm telling you, they're going to pop off. No, we have to go into them because they are hilarious. Okay. Okay, so what the hell were we? Thumbs. He did a whole series of little YouTube videos they weren't YouTube videos. He did a whole series of videos where he just played with a bunch of thumbs like puppets, and he loves it so much. I didn't get into it, but I know he really appreciated it. Anyone wants to sit here and discredit this movie, first of all, you're going to have to come down here and you're going to have to fight us. You're going to have to fight me, you're going to have to fight PapaNasty, and you're going to have to fight Abraham Lincoln on the spot because the Martial Arts Museum of History indoctored this movie.
No, what?
So watch your goddamn mouth.
No way. Wait. What?
Here's another review I want to throw in there from Matthew Kumar. It owns that in 2002, Steve Odekirk, largely a screenwriter of lowbrow comedies, and there's nothing wrong with that,
There's nothing wrong with that.
managed to convince a studio to pay for a Hollywood-class bodybuilding coach until he was ripped enough to make a movie that's mostly a redubbed Jimmy Wang Yu flick, and then give it a full wide release in cinemas, and it made a profit. Features one extremely solid Stephen Chow-esque gag, and the rest of the movie isn't really jokes, just things said in a funny voice, but we stan a king.
Dude, that's incredible.
That's fucking wild.
That's one way to put it, yeah. He paid for a coach just to get ripped enough to make the movie. So it would be passable, I guess, for people to believe that he was a martial artist, even though the movie wasn't supposed to be serious to begin with.
Literally, that's probably the coolest shit ever, dude. I can't get past that. He probably got paid to go work out because he talked the studio into them thinking it was a good idea.
Into making this movie. He probably told him, like, this movie's gonna make a profit because I'm gonna spend nothing on making it, essentially.
You know how much he spent on it? PapaNasty, you mentioned it, 10 million, and then he made 17 back.
Yep.
7 million profit.
Yeah. So do you think would you deem that a success?
Yeah, duh, right?
It wasn't a failure, tell you that much.
What about you, Udovich? You'd make that deal?
Okay.
Make that deal.
So I was literally looking up videos earlier on Kung Pao just to see some interviews, and then I found the Martial Arts History Museum, and they had an interview with him 3 years ago. Steve Odekirk was so kind to not only loan all the items to the Martial Arts History Museum, including the cow and the gopher chucks, but he came to the museum with his whole crew for a special showing of this movie. Isn't that insane?
Wow.
So there's the credentials for you guys. Now let us tell you about the stupidest movie I've ever seen. No, I'm kidding.
You piece of shit.
Bucky Larson, Born to be a Star?
Oh, whoa. I could not even bring anybody into, like, how about we'll do a month of movies that will simultaneously get us canceled and you will all lose respect for us. And that will be that movie. But this movie is those quote unquote bad movies that surprise you by actually being hilarious. But how do you recap this movie? There's no way we're given a beat by beat recap. There's a few good jokes along the way. But what do you think, PapaNasty? How should we go about it?
I am just gonna go through the notes and section by section. I'm not gonna go through every detail because I do feel like there's so much about the film that if you say all the jokes, you deep dive into it, it would just kind of kill the film for it to watch it and
the
enjoy.
thing about jokes is they work better in context. Like, you have to see it to get it sometimes.
No, there's a few bits we have to try and do because they were funny, but we'll get there. We'll know when I can tell something excites you guys. I gotta instigate.
There was one thing that just occurred to me right now. I was like, aren't gophers native to the U.S.? Like, are there even gophers in China? And I looked it up. You're like, yeah, like those gophers shouldn't have even been there.
So
it just occurred to me right now, and because when you brought up that they had the gopher chucks at the museum, I was like, wait a minute, what? Do gophers even exist in China?
oh, that's awesome.
No, they don't. They do not.
There we go. Hey, spoiler, guys.
Spoiler alert.
Gopher
Jeez.
chucks. No, but this film was only an hour and 20 minutes. So I'm like,
You mean to tell me this movie's not realistic?
not in the slightest. Not in the fucking slightest. Okay, so I'm just gonna fucking try something differently. Okay, so here are the characters that I'm just gonna establish right now. There's Master Payne or Betty. There is Wimp Lo. There's a Chosen One. There's Master Tang and Ling. The beginning of the storyline starts off with the Chosen One as a young child who is with a family that may or not be his. We're not too established on that. We see Master Payne comes in, kills them all, and then he has this crazy, terrible CGI fight scene. Yeah, terrible CGI fight scene that is arguably better than The Hobbit, but we're not gonna go down that
Stereotypical Chinese accents, like open the mouth.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we have to establish that first and foremost. This movie was made in 2002, and if you look back on it, there are a few things where you're like, like, can they do that? It was fine then. Also, this movie, the joke is it's a parody of dubbing. It's not a joke about the Chinese culture or anything.
If you think that Robert Downey Jr. being a black guy in Tropic Thunder was funny, then the entire joke about that is basically the premise of this movie.
Yep, there we go. But the terrible CGI he's talking about, it starts off almost as like a normal movie until they try to stab a baby, but then the baby stops him from stabbing him.
Because he's the chosen one.
And then it leads into a horrible CGI fight scene like PapaNasty's talking about.
Yeah, that baby looked like the fucking like PS1 CGI or some shit.
No, the baby turned into the Omen with the fucking creepy bags around the eyes and just the way it looked, the way it was moving.
It reminded me of the shitty CGI of the Scorpion King and the Mummy 2.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, man. That's another early 2000 film.
The Xbox 360 graphics.
So the baby wins, right?
Yeah, the baby
Yeah.
almost dies.
For quote unquote.
Yeah, no, so Master Payne doesn't successfully kill the baby because the baby hides. So he decides to burn the house down. The baby pops out, goes down a hill, blah, 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 gets found by the desert animals. The desert animals train it.
It gets found by the woman who is essentially like quote unquote Grandpa Gohan and then just rolls it down.
No, you missed. Yeah, I'm like, you got to sprinkle in these jokes along the way. You have to sprinkle in these jokes.
The problem is you can't, I don't want to give them everything. I have to leave some surprises for them because then it's going to ruin the whole film.
That's what I talked about in the last podcast. Like, we don't need to get hung up on recapping everything detail for detail.
Yeah.
Don't recap everything. Okay, this is my bad.
No, you're good.
I thought this was incredibly hilarious. And so I thought the entire scene with the baby caught me off guard. It actually dragged me in. And then when I finally think it's over, and then the baby starts rolling down the hill for way too long. And then it would stop. It would stop you could tell it's a doll rolling down the hill,
Yeah.
but it would stop. And then you could tell it's a regular baby. And then the woman picks it up and she's like, oh, how cute. And then she throws the baby down the hill.
She's like, there you go. Or some shit like that.
Yeah. And then now I'm over it. I thought it was hilarious. They fast forward. He's an adult, whatever.
No. Fuck you. Don't. No. So that's when narration starts. He ends up getting picked up by the desert animals. They train him in the ways of kung fu, and then
Even though he's a natural at it.
he's a natural at it. So the baby originally, a bring back, was Asian. When the baby grows up, it's white. It's Steve Oedeker. And so
Yeah, I brought that up earlier, and Eric was like, I never put that
I missed
together.
it. I did not. Yeah.
so random.
Eric really hit us with the I don't see color.
Yeah. Funny, except when he's driving, he's road rage, and then he points out color, but that's a different topic. We're not gonna
Eric West
talk
is
about
not
that.
my real name. It is not my real name. Oh my God, I'm going to jail.
Yeah. So then we see a situation where they start talking about how he's attacked randomly for being the chosen one. He starts being attacked by these figures with the 3 triangles or the 3 pyramids, whatever you want to call it, and he's
I
defeating
call them
them.
the triads.
The 3 triads or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I internally call them.
One thing you do notice is that his skin color is different. Has his abilities are totally different than all the other fighters coming across. He's kicking ass. He's taking names. And my theory is that he's an alien that his parents found, and that he was brought to this Earth. But unfortunately, there's no sequel to this film. That we just get this one.
He came from the planet Vegeta.
Yes, basically, yeah. Abel sums it up pretty much that he's a Saiyan. Because if you think about it, there's gonna be scenes throughout the film that you'll see him get beat up and he gets stronger, or the more he trains, he gets better. And what does that remind you of? A Saiyan.
Bro, also the end of the movie kind of leads. I'm going to stop saying lends credence because I said it so much in the last fucking episode. But the end of the movie kind of gives a lot of merit to that theory, but we won't talk about it. But all right. I completely agree with you.
Dude, right? Yeah.
In fact, that's my headcanon. He's absolutely Goku, like a Goku incarnate.
Yeah. And there's more stuff later, like I'll deep dive into.
This was the original Dragon Ball movie, not Dragon Ball Evolution. Fuck that movie. This is Dragon
high school
Ball.
bullshit, dude.
I told you Master Payne was Mercenary Tao.
Dude, yeah, okay, yeah. Guys, let us know if you think Abraham Lincoln's right, that Master Tao.
That should be the question. Is this actually a Dragon Ball adaptation?
Yep, there it is. There it is. I appreciate
This
you.
motherfucker. As if he couldn't steal enough things, he steals from Dragon Ball. This piece of shit.
But we do have to remember that the chosen one, the narrator lets us know that he walks this earth being attacked by random people, and he doesn't know why, just because he's the chosen one. Sometimes he walks, sometimes he drives, sometimes he parties with the desert animals.
Parties with the desert animals.
Dude, I love that scene so much.
If you look at the credits, there's puppeteers because they have the little animals being puppeteered.
Random little tangent, but I saw this like a poll. It was a screenshot of a poll where someone was saying like which of these four children would be the strongest, and it was Kid Goku, Kid Vegeta, Kid Broly, and Kid Gohan. And like people who said Kid Goku literally have no idea about Dragon Ball, because Goku was legit the weakest one out of all of them, especially as a kid.
Yeah, he was almost weaker than Krillin for a sec, or at least like barely better than Krillin.
Yeah, he was weaker than a human. Meanwhile, Vegeta came out the womb ready to go. Broly is a fucking freak of nature, and Gohan, well, he's kind of like Vegeta, where he just came out the womb
Who would
ready
win
to
in
go.
a fight, Steve Odekirk, the chosen one, or Goku?
Gohan.
Which Goku?
Goku.
No, I mean like Goku beginning Cell Saga.
No, Goku Dragon Ball when he returns to fight Piccolo because he's officially an adult.
Steve Odekirk.
Light work, go for Chucks, baby.
Yeah.
You know why? It's because he's got the magic boost power like fucking One Punch Man. He's got gag character powers.
Yeah. He's almost got those borderline loom.
Like nothing basically applies to him. Logic doesn't apply to him.
Also, he has Tongue, which, as you see in the film, it's his magical tongue, or alien tongue, or he's an alien. It's part of his being, but
it's a Saiyan tail, but it's in his mouth.
It's his again, another parallel.
Bro, he read Dragon Ball. This is not even funny. He definitely fucking copied and pasted. That's wild.
That gives him additional power, folks. When that tongue comes out, he gets a power up. I'm just saying.
How does it go?
There's some parallels.
I'm just saying. Like, did we ever see him turn into an ape during a full moon? Was there ever a full moon in the movie?
Not yet. Okay. We're flying too close to the sun.
PapaNasty's actually thinking about it. He's trying to remember if there was ever a full moon.
Yes. Okay.
Steve Odekirk's gonna send his ninjas after us.
Okay. So then we get the introduction of the Crane School, and we get the introduction of Master Tang, who is a secretive pervert, and then we hear about the evil council, who has control of the world, that has Master Pain as their enforcer, dictator dude, who then transfers over to Master Betty later on down the scene.
Well, I have to bring something up really quick. What's the name of the school?
Crane School.
What's the name of the place in Dragon Ball? The guy.
The Crane School.
The Crane School. Whoa.
Yeah,
Oh
the Crane
God.
School was the mortal enemies of the Turtle School.
Bro, we figured this shit out. All right. Anyways. Sorry. My bad.
Dude. No.
This is the
Thank you,
conspiracy
Eric. Thank
podcast.
You are forgiven.
Yeah, we have become a hybrid conspiracy podcast.
All right. Like you're saying, he
Continue.
randomly changes his name to Betty. I want to point out a few production notes here real quick. Steve Odekirk.
It's the Eric Show.
Hey everybody, welcome to Eric Show.
Welcome to the Eric Show. I need you guys to shut the fuck up. But just so you know,
I just want to talk about Betty.
Steve Odekirk actually voiced
Yes.
he dubbed all the characters, and it was meant to be a gag at the beginning. He was planning to hire actors later, but then once everyone heard the voices, once they heard the voices he did, they said, screw it, let's have you play all the characters dubbed. And then what they did was they took they took old footage from a kung fu movie from the 70s, one that was kind of slept on, one he traveled to China to find it. He brought it back and they updated it to HD, and then he inserted himself into the movie. So I just think it's so important to bring that up. They had a green screen at the time and like shoddy CGI that they used. And so they also built sets in California. And so that way, certain scenes, you're looking at certain people from the back, and they had body doubles playing all the characters. They replicated the sets, they replicated the costumes. And so they made it difficult to tell. But then now that I understand that throughout the movie, there are certain bits. Like, for example, there's a girl who's clearly in love with our main character who like runs up, and like when you see her from behind, she keeps taking her clothes off and putting them back on. And I was like, why would they do that in the original movie? What the hell is the joke here? And then after I researched it, I was like, Oh, well, that's because this was a whole bit they did with the production crew. Just super important to bring up because we almost didn't even talk about that's the premise of the whole ass movie.
I thought the premise was it was a Dragon Ball adaptation.
I know. We got too invested in that. You were on to something there. I'm gonna post that on the internet. I'm posting that on the Truth website.
Truth Social.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I didn't even know the name. Fuck.
Okay.
Anyways,
Eric, are you done with the Eric show? Can we get back to the
I'm
pod?
done with the quality production notes because I do my genuine research before doing the podcast. Whereas PapaNasty gets trashed.
What?
Abraham Lincoln watches 2/3 of the movie, and I'm over here. I watched it twice, and I did my research. So
I've watched the movie like a dozen times, Eric.
that's because I got halfway through it and I was like, you know what? I'd rather just watch Dragon Ball.
Maybe if Eric wasn't too busy shaving his mustache.
Which, unironically, I do actually want to watch Dragon Ball again because I barely remember how it went.
that's awesome, dude. Good job. That was great.
Yeah, because I've got Z completely down in my head. I got like super down in my head, but it seems like a fever dream trying to remember Dragon Ball now. I just remember Goku and Krillin running from dinosaurs on milk trips.
Out of pocket shit like that. But Papanasty, this goddamn recap is not a fever dream. I'm done cutting you off and telling you what this movie's about. Fuck! I'm gonna mute myself.
You promise? I'd hope so. No.
For 5 minutes, I'm not gonna talk. Ready? Go.
No. Okay, 1 minute. Anyways.
And this is the part where you and I both mute him.
Yeah, thank God. It's about time. Everybody, we've been wondering what it'd be like without Eric. And,
I'm a liar. I'm not. Fuck you guys. So, all right, anyways, no, I really will shut up
Yes,
now.
okay.
Okay, go ahead.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay. So then we get the introduction of Wimplo with the introduction of Ling, which is kind of funny because the actress that plays Ling is actually Ling Ling. Hey, she Ling Ling. But she plays Ling in the film. I don't know, I thought that was kind of funny. We see the introduction of Wimplo, Ling. We see that Master Tang is a pervert.
Because every fucking master of martial arts for some reason should be one.
Well, we see that scene where he's like talking about fisting his, like where they're like, he's coughing, he's sick. We're realizing how bad it is. And then he's like talking about getting the rubber. I was going to leave this for the audience. But
yeah, I got that part. I remember that part. Get the rubber glove.
Get the rubber glove out. He's like he's gonna fist his students. What's he calls it? Yeah, he's gonna fist his students. And I was like, it's a weird way of making them stronger, I guess. I don't know.
That reminds me of the scene in Rush Hour 3 when they get to France. Welcome to Paris.
Welcome to Paris. The Crane School, when they first show up, they're like doing some battling and they're doing like, what is it?
They're saying something about genders or something like that.
As they're fighting, they have to recite something and they're like, our sexual preferences are our own business. It's like the most...
Yes.
Yeah, something like that. That was funny. I was like, what the fuck are they talking about?
When they get introduced to Wimplo, who wants to be the chosen one, but they meet the real chosen one, and then Wimplo's like, no, I want to be the chosen one. And then Master Tang's like, we have purposely trained him wrong as a joke. And so the whole movie, he keeps thinking losing is winning. And so he's like, have you ever seen my balls to your fist style?
Yeah. Eric, again, these are jokes we don't ruin for the audience.
I will ruin all the jokes because this movie's genuinely funny. If I don't tell you this movie's funny, there's no way you're watching it. So
they would totally rewatch it. There are vouchers. They're gonna listen to us.
True.
They know what's up.
What's up, Vouchers? Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you listening to us ramble. We love you.
We get a brief Master Pain intro, and then we get a training montage of the Chosen One doing some Goku shit, dude. We see him fucking use one finger to blow up a fucking whole, what was it, they're using like a wooden timber piece as like a punching board. He's doing push-ups with just two hands, and then he's doing push-ups with his fucking breath. You see all these hilarious training montage that's clearly Powerball or Dragon Ball Z reference. Dragon Ball reference.
No, now that Abel brought it up, you're not gonna unsee it, dude. That's funny.
You cannot see it, yeah. And then, what does Eric's boy Wimplo do? He challenges him to a fight.
As he should. Yeah, Wimplo.
Wimplo is Krillin if he sucked.
Yeah. And
but Krillin's the goat.
Wimplo, as you think gets his ass kicked, and I'll let you guys watch that, and it's fucking hilarious because he has a squeaky he has these fucking squeaky shoes throughout the film. They're just like, oh man, where's it coming from? And it's unexplainable, but it's just a silly little thing they threw in there. He whoops his ass, and then Master Payne is in town. He's with the mayor, and he is causing a bit of a ruckus because they are looking for the chosen one.
So it turns out this whole time, Master Payne was the one that murdered the parents, and he's been on this quest to defeat the chosen one.
Yes, so the chosen one has been getting attacked by people, and he doesn't really know why. He understands why. He remembers what Betty did, and when they finally, the chosen one goes to town, and he's going to meet with Betty, and they're all hanging out there. It's he's like, he's looking.
So he's like Frieza.
God damn.
Oh, shit.
He's trying to stop the prophecy from being fulfilled because his future will come when a Saiyan is the one who kills him. So I'm going to try and kill all the Saiyans so they can't kill me. But there's one left, the chosen one.
And he is ironically the only white person with all these Asian gentlemen, or Chinese gentlemen, if you want to be specific.
Filthy monkeys.
Whoa,
And he
whoa.
announces-
It makes sense because that's what
wait.
Frieza said. That's what Frieza said. Bad timing. Frieza said that about the Super Saiyans. Oh. All right, I saved us from Twitter, guys. We're fine. Oh, boy.
Yeah, we see Betty introduce his new name. We see you see that his skills. He gets his shit beat out with some sticks. He can take some crotch hits. He can take some damage. And the chosen one tries to get some damage back, gets his ass beat, and then we get introduced to the character after he comes out from his brief coma, to the character Woe, who also could be an alien, just like him, as my previous theory, because, well, she has one boob, and she also has the symbol, necklace, chain, pendant, whatever you want to call it, the same as that he had as a child growing up, that his mom had.
Yeah, exactly. They're introducing these concepts like subtly, but obviously they never explain it. And I get that's the point of the sequel that never happened. But anyway, the thing is, he said that in the original movie, it even made less sense. The actual genuine movie that they had put out, that he took and put himself into, they had these exact same concept, but they didn't even bother trying to explain them whatsoever.
Yeah, well, they had a plan for it to do in the sequel, and she kind of referenced like, oh, well, we will meet plenty of more times in the sequel.
Well,
and like she referenced like that, but that never comes to be.
Of course, the sequel to Kung Pao Enter the Fist, but the original movie that he's putting himself into, they did a horrible job of explaining any of this, and you have to literally interpret it. And in this movie, they give you a understanding near the end. But yeah, that's what's hilarious about the whole situation.
Okay, so we had their fight scene. He shows her what's up. She's the only character that we see that actually kind of holds her own to the chosen one, speed wise and movement wise, which I thought that was interesting. That could be a hint that she's also alien, and then she also knows others' tongues, because she probably is. She has one tit.
Except the part where she shows up and then falls off of something and lands in a bunch of crates for no reason.
Yeah, well, she flies, Eric. Can you fly? Like,
but
come
then
on.
she flies and then she gets stuck in a tree.
Yeah, she's not tough. I'm not saying she's the toughest one, but she's an alien. She's a no. Yeah.
There's a part where he has to fight a giant group of people, the chosen one, and so he doesn't have a weapon, and so he reaches into a gopher hole and he pulls out two gophers, and the gophers bite onto a piece of his shirt. He starts swinging them, and it goes on a close-up on the gophers, and they're like, "Eee!" Anyways, it's a good time.
I want to say false advertising, because in the movie, the gophers are biting onto the piece of thing, whereas on the poster of the cover of the movie, they're like connected at the ass or something like that.
What? What the fuck?
You're absolutely. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah. Like look at it. Yeah.
And it's a chain too. Those are good gopher chucks.
Yeah, those are the premium ones you get from Big Five, not the ones from Walmart.
He had the Walmart. He had the Wish ones. All right. She flies away.
Movie posters always lie. Movie posters always lie.
So she flies away. Which is like, okay, she's obviously not a human. She has the same, she has that symbol, which he's kind of having some recollection about it. And then we get the showdown. Master Tang versus Betty. They have their brief fight, but due to Master Tang's sickness, he cannot continue on. We get that he likes to listen to Big Butts by Sir Mix-a-Lot as he fights, which is hilarious because
baby got back.
Baby got back, which is hilarious because it actually weirdly goes with the fight scene. It does not it actually goes pretty well with it. It's stupid, but it goes in really pretty well.
With that whole scene, they took the original footage of them fighting from the movie, and then they just green screened in that guy with the boombox, and he randomly plays music. His name is Nasty Ness, which is
Whoa.
Yeah, this is his real life name. His real life name is Nasty Ness, and he plays the boombox henchman. Now, who the fuck is Nasty Ness? That's amazing.
Boombox henchman.
That's my favorite character in the whole movie is the boombox henchman. Yeah. He's vibing, dude. Every time he shows up, he's vibing.
He is every time. Abel, anything? You're smiling over there. Or are you just touching yourself?
Now he loves the scene, dude. Nasty Ness is a god. I think he has a rap career.
I was just thinking about the song "Baby Got Back" real quick, and I was thinking of like parodies and
gotcha.
concept of it is just so ridiculous. My anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, hun.
Wait, yo, hold up. Sir Mix-a-Lot partnered with Nasty Ness and local business Ed Locke to found the Nasty Mix record label in 1983. So they're playing a Sir Mix-a-Lot song, but
it all comes
together. Dude, what?
That's hilarious.
There's like those things where they say like a lot of these things in movies are like meticulously done on purpose. Every so often something is done because they are like, fuck it.
There is one thing I didn't notice till later on, and slight spoiler, but Master Tang is his voice, which is Steve Odekirk, is the narrator. That it's the same voice, it's just slightly dubbed a little bit, but it was kind of funny to hear like the way he does it. And I was gonna do there. I'm not gonna do it.
No, we can't do it.
But just some of the jokes, it's like it's fucking great. I'm not gonna spoil them for you guys because you have to watch this film and you have to appreciate it. And it's super offensive. I know it's wild, but you got to give it a chance.
He got his ass whooped. Master Tang himself, like we thought he would be the one.
Master Tang actually doesn't. He holds his own. He doesn't get his ass whooped immediately, but he does get like, if Master Tang was at 100%, could he defeat Betty? No, but could he hold his own and like, fight him off? Possibly. It's definitely it's left up for assumption. He makes some great quotes and references, and then cuts to Ling telling the chosen one out of nowhere that she loves him, and that he will never make it. He will never make it. And then we get the Eric, the wheel. You want to give us some?
Oh, wee.
She never made. She just, yeah. We get so much of that.
Yeah. So it turns out that in the script, so of course they're dubbing the movie, they couldn't come up with enough things for Ling to say, and so as a bit he was doing by himself, Steve Odekirk was doing the wee just to fill it in, and they started doing that at like 2 a.m. while they were dubbing over the movie, and they were laughing about it, and they're like, "This is stupid. We're not keeping it, but if it's funny tomorrow, let's keep it." And then when they got up tomorrow, they watched it over. They're like, "Fuck it, dude. We're putting that in for the rest of the movie."
So one thing I did fuck up on and did not review was that during the fight with Woe, the one boob lady, she did tell him that, she did ask the chosen one if he was ready to fight him. He was like, "Yes, I am." Blah blah blah. She's like, "Well, you should have no problem fighting me." And he fights her. He corrects her, or he wins. And then she tells him not to engage with his protector, with Betty's protector, which is avoid the meadow, she tells him, which we come to find out is a cow, and he has this epic, cheesy Matrix ripoff fight scene with the cow.
Oh my God, you're absolutely right. The whole that part completely random, and when he's dodging a beam of milk from the cow, he does the Matrix thing, and I was so caught off guard because I was like, when the fuck was The Matrix made? In 1998. This movie came out in 2002. So of course they had to do a Matrix scene. The CGI for the cow is bad, but I do like the movements for the cow. I think they did a great job. And then spoiler alert, but at the end of the movie, when they start to show you the sequel for the movie, the cow shows up with a whole barnyard of animals to fight the chosen one. And then it's like, where did Steve Odekirk get the idea for barnyard? Right here, right now. Bam. Ba 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 boom. Ba ba booey.
Yeah, because what he does to the cow, he beats her, but she's not giving up. So he milks her dry, so that way she becomes incapacitated. Incapacitated. It was a CGI cow, but for the part where where he milked the cow, it was a rig that they built to look like a cow udder, and he was genuinely there milking that weird rig, and then they CGI'd a cow in afterwards. Dude, the takes on that when he's trying to do it, he fucks up so many times, and like he's biting it. It's super silly. Like look into the bloopers of it. It's fucking hilarious. He's like, he's just like it's so stupid.
I feel like I feel like this next part you can virtually fast forward through, except for like the main parts you think are important. This movie doesn't need a good recap.
Am I going too slow?
I just think this movie doesn't need a good recap. Like I think you're hitting some good points, which I agree with, and it would be fun to stop and like talk about the jokes. But after the cow scene, we're pretty much I was lost, except for a few jokes along the way. So
The Lion King.
is that right after?
Yeah,
The Lion King scene?
The Lion King.
Yeah.
Is that virtually right after the cow?
No,
Pretty much. There's like one more scene, two more scenes between that and that.
So after the cow, he goes and attacks. The chosen one decides to fight Betty. Betty is like waiting for him. He's talking some shit to him. Right as the chosen one's going to attack him, Ling's dad jumps in, and they both try to fight him. They both get their asses kicked, and they both get sent home. Ling's dad ends up getting some severe wounds. They go to the House of Crane and to Master Tang's place, and he is trying to heal him, which doesn't work because all Master Tang is doing is rubbing his boob and getting off.
Yeah. No, that was a really weird scene, but it was a fun bit. And I think the blooper was even funny because for the blooper, they say cut, and the guy's still rubbing him, and he's like, "Hey, they said cut." And he's like, "I'm just rehearsing."
Yeah. This is for both of us. The way he's like talking, don't spoil
He was like,
it.
He was like, I don't drop character till I've done the DVD commentary.
Ooh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
And then we get the death of Ling's father, and then Ling is like, "I'm horny," and she's wanting some chosen one. Then we get the Lion King reference.
But I don't want you to think I'm a slut.
Yeah, Ling comes running in, and she's like, "I want you." Takes off her clothes, but she puts it back on. She's like, "But I want to wait," and she does it 3 or 4 times. And then right when she's like, "But take me," and then she puts her clothes back on. But I don't want you to think I'm a slut, and then just hugs him.
Her words are, "Take me, man, meat." And you see that, it's like so stupid. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. And then we get the reference to the Lion King, which I remember. I guess the Lion King came back out in 98, 96.
Yeah,
but they do reference to the Lion King.
That's fun. I love that.
Yeah.
Old Mushufasa and Cho Simba one.
And Cho Simba one.
Cho Simba. Yeah, that's so. I did like that bit.
He gives the chosen one a bunch of vague bullshit and some just some vague bullshit, and speaks in riddles, and you can decipher that. I'm not going to spoil that for you.
And it lends more credence to the alien theory because he's talking about the stars.
Dun, dun.
And then we get to the chosen one's alive. So Betty thought he killed the chosen one. Chosen one's alive. Betty
hold
finds
up. PapaNasty, I'm begging you. At this point,
let's go.
At this point, this is the part where Abel hasn't seen the rest of the movie, and so you tell Abel the rest of the story.
Here we go.
All right, you tell Abraham Lincoln the rest of the story. He got to the part with the Mufasa thing, and so now you gotta tell him the rest of the story. You got this.
Here we go. All right, Abel, because I love you. So we see Betty having a meeting with the mayor and some of his other motherfuckers. He gets contacted by the evil council, and they are telling him the chosen one's alive because he thought he had killed the chosen one, But that's not the case, obviously. So then the evil council calls him over. They have the meeting with him. And then he comes back and he's telling the mayor a little bit about the plan. Not really, just talking about how it's so evil and that he would enjoy, and that he loves it so much because he is so bad and it's so evil and it's going to hurt a lot of good people. And then we get Betty killing Crane students.
You randomly, I was gonna say you randomly reminded me of when you talked about the evil council. I was thinking of in Dragon Ball Z Abridged when Frieza was on Namek and it's like, why can't I contact the Ginyus? Oh, it's because they're dead. Why are they dead?
Spoiler alert, the evil council's aliens. And that wasn't originally in the script at all. Steve Odekirk added that to this to give you some kind of information as who the hell the evil council was. So that's a big... And they're also French. Who knew? Who knew why that had to be the case?
Spoiler.
I'm spoiling it all.
Yeah, so in his outfit he wears, he has those like two triangle end caps on his suit. Those give him power in some way that's given to him by the evil council, and that is why he's so powerful. And so they spoiler, but that's what gives him his power. We get him kill. Ling is that's why his Master Pain's so powerful. He's able to kill these Crane students super easily. Hangs them up. He briefly captures Ling. He then we have a weird scene where he ends up killing Master Tang. He kills Ling briefly, but then she comes back. He kills Wimp Lo. He kills the dog.
I want to ruin that. I'm going to ruin that for the audience.
Yes, ruin it.
Okay, I'm going to ruin this for the audience. First of all, he shows up. There's two ventriloquists leaving for some reason, and the two ventriloquists have to fight Betty, and they try to like throw their voice to get them to think the chosen one somewhere else. It's the stupidest thing ever. But he goes. Betty ends up going, and he kills all of these people, including Wimplo, the dog, Mr. Tang. But they start coming back. They're like, "Oh, you thought I was dead? Why? Just because I turned my head to the side and coughed? You thought I died?" And so he kept running around and everyone was still alive. It turned out that Ling was still alive, Master Tang, the dog. And so he goes back to Wimplo. He's like, surely that must mean Wimplo's alive. And he goes over to check on him and you just hear flies buzzing. And he looks all disturbed and he runs away. Anyways, it was I love the joke. I thought it was a pretty good bit.
When Ling is dying, she's actually played by another actress, Lin Tan.
That's random.
Which I thought was funny because at first I didn't like. I'm like, that doesn't look like Ling. And then it was actually but that scene never actually happened. That was something they threw into the film.
There it is. So fuck it, dude. We got the final conflict. We got the final confrontation.
Yeah. So okay. So who lives? Ling lives. The dog lives. Wimplo, Master Tang die. Bam. Rest
in peace. Pour one out for the homies.
So then we have the situation now where the chosen one experiences this death. He was also defeated, and now he needs to train. And he's doing another training process where he's looking to get to practice taking off. He knows that those are his sources of power. Those end caps, we'll call them.
We're calling them nipple caps.
He gets nipple caps. He hits up a blacksmith to help him make a bunch of them to practice taking them off. He has no experience, and he's trying. Nothing's happening. And, Ling, being the amazing woman she is, she sees at the end of the day, his hands are fucked up. So what she do? She throws some lemon on there. Then she throws some salt. Then she throws some mercury. And then she lights it on fire. And his hands afterwards, and then, mercury. Then she's like, rub it through my hair.
Yeah.
And then he's like, my hands are on fire. And then she lights his hands on fire.
It's so random.
He freaks and then she's like, try it out now. The next day he tries it out and he's able to pull it off. A cool scene that I did like was that the fact that after this, he's actually like playing out the situation, how it would go down. Okay, I'm going to grab on, if I grab these and pull these out, this is what's going to happen. I did like that was semi-realistic because, we all talk about throwing a punch. We all talk about fighting. And Mike Tyson has a famous quote that he says, everybody has a plan until they get hit. And he's literally in that scene visualizing what would happen if you got hit in that scene. What's his response gonna do? Get hit in
Dude,
the
who
nuts.
knew how inspiring this movie was for PapaNasty? I'm over here trying to make a joke about this movie, and I didn't realize how serious you took it. Like this actually like changed who you were as a person. No, no. We thought this was a dragon. We thought this was a Dragon Ball reference.
He cried the entire time and made him want to be a better man.
It gave him his sense of humor. It gave him his sense of righteousness and being willing to able to take someone on and think out those scenarios. And he never does bird style because he knows it'll make him look stupid and they'll kick him in the nuts. That's what. Wow. Damn, dude. Abel, I've been facetious about this whole episode. I didn't realize how much it meant to PapaNasty.
It's like one of those things where once you start seeing the things that like a person's favorite movies or shows growing up, it all starts clicking. Like, so this is why he's like this.
Oh shit.
It's because like men typically build their entire personality around the things they liked growing up, and then they just stay that way.
Bruh, that's true. Man, we found one.
I saw this meme where it was like, if you watched a movie and didn't adopt the personality of a character for at least a month afterwards because you identify with them so well, did you like the movie?
I identified as one of the I identified as one of the velociraptors from Jurassic Park. That's what I did.
So definitely me too. I remember there's this running gag where like apparently it's a gag for men to identify with Ryan Gosling movie roles. Or just pick any random Ryan Gosling role. It could be like, I don't know, The Notebook, Blade Runner, Barbie, or fucking
Ryan Gosling's Crazy Stupid Love. Yup.
Oh, that's
Yep.
going.
Fall Guy. People were like, he's literally me.
Literally. Always.
Yeah, for me, it's fucking Blade Runner. Like, he's literally me.
Air Bud, absolutely. That was me. Simple Jack, you're darn right. I identified with that. Forrest Gump, yup, every single time.
Oh my god.
All right.
For me, I identified with Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park. I hate being right all the time. I knew things were going to play out exactly the way they did, and I'm mad that happened.
So anyways, PapaNasty, you identified with Steve Odenkirk. And after you told us that very thoughtful thing, we went ahead and tore it apart, roasted you, and built it back up. And now that it's built back up, sir, what happened? Yeah, what happens after his fantasy?
Okay, so Betty gets information that the Chosen One's in town, and they meet up and they have the fight scene. And right as they're about to fight, Betty's trying to play his music. The Chosen One's like, nah, we're gonna play my music, and he does actually a pretty badass remix to Black Betty.
Yeah,
it's a remix version, which I thought was actually not bad.
Yeah, no, that first the boombox henchman comes to change it, and then he hears what's playing, and he nods his head in approval, and he crosses his arms, and that's how you know Nastiness approved of it.
Yeah. And it actually pumps up the Chosen One, and it's funny during the fight scene. It's actually the young Betty character that we see in the beginning that kills his family. And like the fight scene it's not very well edited, but that's like the funniness of it. It's like it's just showing you like, oh, this is like, it's like, wah, I'm gonna kill you, and he's
you
like,
have,
yeah,
you have it down.
on.
You have the Betty voice down.
Yeah.
You sound like Wario or Waluigi.
Yeah, Wario.
I can't believe you're doing this thing. Wee. All right.
We get the fight scene going on, and it's pretty cool. Doggy helps. He jumps on Betty and starts fucking humping him, which I thought was cool because I have a dog myself, Nacho. He's the fucking best dog, but I know if there's a fight scene and I was fighting somebody, he wouldn't bite them. He'd probably start humping them. I just, I don't know where he gets it from. Maybe his
where does he get it from?
Dad,
where does he get it from?
I don't know.
I think you're his biological father by that description. Actually,
we get the evil council. They decide to jump in and help out, and they power up Betty. And then we find out the evil, dirty truth is that they're French.
And they're aliens.
They're not even, they're fucking real. Yeah, they're aliens.
What's worse, that they're French or they're aliens?
I think that they're French.
No, I love the French culture. They actually, I did notice they Easter egged it along the way because I noticed a random triangle a couple times up in the sky. and I never really. And then I thought about it after they showed that part. They also had this weird, like every so often they had this weird little CGI alien for no reason, and I was like, that must be one of them.
Yeah, dude. There's like one. There's like when he says he's like they're French and he's like yeah, stinky bits and all. Like the way he said, I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude. That's so stupid. Like, you know, because they're.
Is that before or after he rips off the nipple piercings?
That's before because he's still alive.
Oh, okay, he's alive. Oh, it was so gruesome though when he did rip them off, the nipple heads or whatever we're calling them.
Yeah, the end caps. I mean, you know, and I was calling them the
nipple caps,
pyramid end caps, or nipple caps. The evil council rides to back him up. They power up. He's kicking some ass, and then Betty does the paralyzer on him. I thought that was kind of funny. What is that? What scene does that? It kind of reminds you of the Deadpool scene. Remember? Where he's like, Deadpool's fighting Colossus, and he's like, you fucking fucked up with the wrong person. He goes to knock him out, and both his arms get fucked up. I thought that was kind of funny. I'm like, I wonder if he had seen that, but I don't know.
All the dinosaurs feared the T-Rex.
It reminded me of Kung Fu Panda, but of course, I think those movies took place, of course, after 2002.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Kung Fu Panda took place in 2006, I think. Or not took place, it came out.
I think Kung Fu Panda, when they did the paralyzer theme, it was a parody of, I think it was regularly used in these old Kung Fu movies kind of thing.
Yeah, and then we get Tuggy to the rescue. And Tuggy, he says something that's pretty interesting. He says, you were a disgrace to the French aliens. And then he goes and attacks them, which I'm like, come on. If that's not a hint that the Chosen One's an alien, I don't know what is.
That's actually a good point.
And so he fucks with him. He disturbs them up. They leave. And the Chosen One gets his power back up. And then he fucking rips out the end nipples. And what do you call them?
Nipple caps. End caps. Nipple end caps.
The nipple caps off of Betty, and Betty has this like really cringe death scene that just goes on for a little too long, but it's fun to see, and he horribly dies, and then we get the scene of how did the Chosen One survive, because when the Chosen One grabbed onto Betty fucking hit him really hard in the chest. And that would have killed him, but due to his little buddies, I won't spoil them for you, the squirrels.
I'm gonna spoil them for you, actually.
Yeah, spoil them.
So let me spoil it. First of all, there is a part early on where they foreshadow this scene. After he's like, I don't know how I'm gonna defeat them. Wait, I have an idea. He goes and buys some nuts, and for some reason, it's so funny. I
was gonna save it. Yeah,
I don't get why. Why is that so funny? I don't get the joke. I think it was a reference to something, because he's like, I got nuts for you, and you can see some B footage of them just laughing their asses off when he's like, I've got the nuts.
Yeah. He's like, no. He's like, that's a lot of nuts. He's like, can I get a pound of nuts? And he's like,
bro,
hey.
literally, you did that. Like, you did that verbatim. Like, that was really good. That's a lot of nuts. Yeah. He takes the nuts and he goes to a tree and he lures some squirrels, and then it just cuts. And you're like, what the fuck was the point of that? But right when Betty hits him, you think he's going to die. He pulls a squirrel out of his jacket. Turns out he had a squirrel in there. The squirrel was crushed.
No, the squirrel was fine. It just had spine-altering surgery, and it just crawls away. But what is a squirrel, Eric?
What is a squirrel?
What is a squirrel?
A rodent.
It's a rodent.
Oh my god!
And what was he trained by?
The desert animals.
The desert rodents.
Hey, Abraham Lincoln, can you go ahead and Google whether or not squirrels live in the desert?
They don't.
They don't.
Also,
they don't. But
are there squirrels in China? Anyways,
I don't think so. I was looking at Letterboxd reviews. That's a lot of nuts. This is like the best and worst parts of a YouTube poop from 2006 were stretched to a feature-length film. The Taco Bell scene brought up some deeply buried memories of early YouTube I forgot I had.
Yeah, they do a Taco Bell scene. I don't know if you caught that, Abel.
No, I definitely remember the part where the guy was like mumbling about Taco Bell and churrito or something like that.
Yeah, and it was a good one. Taco Bell and churrito.
No, it was he's like, Taco Bell, product placement from Taco Bell, eat your burrito, macho burrito. And it's like, yeah, it's just a product placement because of the film.
It was catchy, let me tell you. The squirrel saves his life, and even though he's crushed with his spine altering surgery. He puts a little bit of peanuts on. He puts a little bit of peanuts on him, and he scurries away. Once again, let's give credit to those goddamn puppeteers. They did incredible. But what's the resolution?
The resolution. Abel, do you want to bring us home? No, I got this.
What the hell?
So then, he thanks the squirrels. It ends Ling, or as wee comes in and is giving him all the lovin's. And it's funny in the editing scene that when she's grabbing onto him, the blood scenes don't match up, but that's just like the silliness of it, if you want to. And then we start getting an inside look at the next episode. So it starts giving us a brief trailer when he's going to fight more people. He's going to fight more animals. He's going to get some weird nipple training where he's getting tied up and his nipples are getting clamped on.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it never does happen.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it came out, everything happened. You know, the years progressed. He did want to do a sequel, but I think it probably started leaning into like, this is controversial territory. Also, I think you got lucky on that one. I think that's probably what the, production companies probably told him.
Well, I think he got into a lot of legal trouble for this, and he does a lot of backlash.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
For this film, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, even though he is proud of this movie, nonetheless, like to this day, that thing I referenced earlier, there were 2 interviews I watched, and they were actually within recent years. One of them was, I believe, 2015, and the other one was literally like 3 years ago that was posted. And the 3 years ago one was the one where he was indoctored into the martial arts museum. So, I mean, like, people are starting to recognize this movie, dude. I think you're on the forefront of something there, PapaNasty. I think people are finally appreciating this movie for what it is, because you can look at it frame by frame, and it's not problematic. It literally is a parody of a dub. It has nothing to do with the culture. It has everything to do with these movies existed. I wanted to put myself in one of these movies, even though I'm some dumb white guy, and he got away with it because he was a comedian. He found the tasteful way to sprinkle himself in and make very lowbrow jokes along the way.
Yeah, it makes fun of the early Chinese editing, how they did it, and like how they dubbed their films and how bad it was, and like that could be to American standards, not being one to read the captions. And then they made fun of American films that had previously happened, as like The Matrix. What was some of the other films? I'm trying to blank right now.
Oh, there's plenty of them. Yeah,
but just making fun of the silliness of it. Yeah, no, I think it was a fun film. I think they dealt too much issues, but yeah, it's a film that was like 22 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. I know. I can't even believe that, dude. Yeah, 22 years ago.
And which slightly still holds up comedic wise. It's a little bit absurd. It's wild. It's out there. It's just a fun film to just watch while, you can be under consumption. It's a silly film. It's not meant to, I'm not saying this is the funniest of films. It's just a dumb, absurd, early parody film that was at the beginning of of when the parody film started.
Would you say this is a quote unquote bad movie?
I called it the golden turd.
Yeah,
it wasn't I had my book is it's a golden turd.
No.
It's funny. It's hilarious. It's a shit film overall, right? But it is hilarious.
Let's review real quick. I must apologize for Wimplo. He is an idiot. We have purposely trained him wrong as a joke. No one else is brave enough to make a movie this fucking stupid.
No, that's the next part I want to lead into. Before we get into the do you vouch for me, before we get into the watch, marry, kill, watch, marry? We got to keep it consistent, guys. What is it? Kill, watch, marry? Watch, marry, kill.
Yeah.
Cause I
watch, marry, kill.
Watch, marry, kill. Watch, marry, kill.
Watch, marry, kill.
Okay, before we get into that, I really wanted to lean into these reviews. And so I'm going to read a few. Abel, you found some really good ones along the way. I'm just going to read them this straight down the line. And then you sprinkle in some good ones. So I'm looking at Letterboxd because Abel, what is Letterboxd? I don't understand it entirely. It's different than Rotten Tomatoes.
It's like Goodreads for film goers. Do you know what Goodreads is? It's basically a website where you go to review books, and It's kind of also like social media-esque where like you could have friends or follows and you could just see each other's reviews for stuff you read. So for Letterboxd, same deal. You could see like what your friends have been watching. They could leave reviews of shit.
They have the funnier reviews because this is the quote unquote.
Because it's like social media-esque.
Yeah, agreed.
So people want to have the funny review and get like lots of likes on it for validation.
And so I appreciate them because I'm getting validation from reading their comments.
You should make a letterbox.
Nah, I don't know about that. I'm a lurker, dude. I'm a lurker day and night.
I have one. I've made my own reviews and shit.
I want to go through. We're gonna have to pull out the Patreon special. Let's go through all of Abraham Lincoln's reviews on Letterboxd. Ooh, you guys aren't ready for it.
And then search history. Let's do it.
Whoa, that's criminal. All right, that's criminal. Okay,
Anyways.
So I'm gonna start going through the some of the Letterboxd ones, and then Abraham Lincoln's
go.
already found some better ones, but. The pinnacle of cinematic achievement, and I'm not even joking. The second guy said, "Wee wee wee wee."
That's awesome.
This guy's like, I want to drop acid and watch the cow fight scene again. We trained him wrong as a joke. My nipples look like milk duds. Why were they roasting Wimplow's nipples so much?
Because in the spoiler during the film, Wimplow's like there's intermission where Wimplow's like he's like my nipples look like milk duds, and then he's like and then also the chosen one references nipples as like who do you belong to, the large dark nipple clan? Like what the fuck? What the fuck are you talking to right now? Who are you talking shit to?
I lost the review because I was scrolling, but one of them said something along the lines of, "This is the movie you see when you're out at the store looking through the bargain bin to find something dumb to watch for the weekend, and as you dig deeper, you start seeing more and more movies you don't recognize until you find this one."
And you see the gopher chucks, and they lure you in as false advertisement. Why weren't they in their asses? They were in their mouths. The best movie I've watched this year. We trained him wrong on purpose as a joke.
Ultimate Y2K comedy, basically a feature-length shit post.
It's a quotable absurdist parody dub if you look past the scenes filmed just for the trailer.
One time in high school, I watched this with friends at 1 a.m. and I laughed so hard I couldn't breathe. When the dog barks and the dub sound takes 5 seconds to catch up. Poetic cinema. Worst movie of all time.
Oh my god, this guy's got this guy's got a long ass one, but I don't even know if it's worth reading, but I'm gonna do it. It's 5 stars, all right? Slippery Fish, July 8th, 2024. In 2002, when this movie was first released, it was a movie like none other. Due to how different of a take this comedy was compared to the original format of comedy movies, it was sadly not praised highly. 22 years later, I want to make it known that this movie is a masterpiece in so many ways. The amount of lines from the movie that I quote on a daily basis has basically become a part of my vocabulary. This movie was the influential to me. This over-the-top, ridiculous, stupid comedy worked for me in every way possible. I laughed from the opening scene to the end. This cannot be said about every comedy movie. I love the idea of using an existing property and completely changing it up on ridiculous levels. Bob Odenkirk is a master of his craft, and I will keep praising him for releasing such a cult classic movie. PapaNasty, we found your alternate account. It's Slippery Fish. Oh, we figured it out.
Me.
It was him.
Here's a review from Adam. Somehow I've never watched the director's commentary for this modern masterpiece, and I'll say it doesn't disappoint. Now he's piqued my curiosity.
Well, let me tell you.
The director's commentary for this.
Ladies and gentlemen, I got the, I went and actually rented the DVD from the last fucking video rental store in all of Washington State, as far as I'm aware of. And although I did not listen to the director commentary, they have alternate tracks of the movie. For example, they have an alternate track where they show you what they were saying and what they dubbed over. So you can leave the subtitles on, and they say the most absurd shit and they leave the subtitles on. But I feel like I slept on it now. I feel like I slept on the director's commentary. But yeah, that's what I have over you guys. Fuck you guys. I'm the best member of this group. I get to go to a movie rental store. Fuck everybody. This is the Eric Show. This is the Eric Show.
What that review that you were reading right before this, I wanted to say, like, bro, that reminds me of how, like, back in high school, like, I built my entire personality around Pulp Fiction. Like, I would just quote that movie all the fucking time.
I can't wait till we do that movie because you can quote it.
And then, like, I would unironically just say so much of this shit all the fucking time.
That's a tasty burger. It's probably one of the first things I heard you ever say. I feel like you and Cody would quote it to each other.
Yeah, this is a tasty burger.
Where'd you get it from?
Big Kahuna Burger.
I love it. PapaNasty. I feel like we had a lot of fun with our little reviews, but we've dragged this episode on long enough. And so
Way too long.
you tell us, you ask us the questions because it was your movie.
Almost like the movie itself.
All right, let's be honest here. Do you guys vouch for me?
No, absolutely,
Absolutely
it's
not.
the worst thing I've ever seen. Oh my god! Holy shit!
Oh man.
Wow,
That was like 60 minutes of my life I'm not getting back.
You don't even watch the whole film.
couldn't
Label.
finish
You
the movie.
I know,
piece of
that's why I didn't say the 81-minute run length
I
of the
didn't
movie.
say it was gonna be good. It's for humor value. You fuck.
No, I know. Like I 100% get you. Like it was absurd, it was ridiculous. But that's like so if I'm gonna write a letterbox about this movie later, it's gonna be like what I said earlier. He was so preoccupied making this movie that he didn't stop to think if he should.
If I had to give you guys my letterbox review, I would. No vouching on this one. But regardless, great jokes along the way. I think that the first act of the movie, the second act of the movie, fucking hilarious. They really do catch you off guard. But once you're prepared for their out-of-pocket jokes, by the third act, it's like, why the fuck isn't this over yet? And then he doubles down. And he says, let me give you a bunch of crappy CGI. And you're like,
I also want to add like what all the other reviews are saying. This movie seems like a time capsule into that absurdist, repetitive type of humor from the early 2000s. And you know what? It was a nice breath of fresh air. I forgot what life used to be like. Seeing stupid movies like this back in high school.
true.
Like the shit that like I'd see in middle school, like the shit that they would make us watch.
God, agreed.
That's what this movie reminded me of. This movie felt like something that they would have made us watch.
I may not vouch for you, but I do appreciate you. And I truly believe this gave us insight on
It explains a lot about PapaNasty.
Yes.
will I show this to my children? You're fucking right. I'm gonna get that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get them up 8 a.m. on a Saturday morning for no reason. I'm gonna feed them.
And you're gonna train them wrong as a joke.
I'm gonna feed them cream of wheat for the first time and watch them try to gag that down. And I'm gonna get a VHS copy of Kung Pao Enter the Fist, and I'm gonna make.
I remember you used to say like, I'm never giving my kids kicks. You give kids kicks if you want to turn them into
You do.
Nazis.
Oh my god.
Eric hates
Before we
kicks.
get into like this whole nother level, one of those core memories I have is my dad waking us up at 8 a.m. feeding us kicks, and kicks are disgusting. But he put on Batman and Robin, the one with Jim Carrey, Uma Thurman, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I loved the movie, but I hated the bowl of cereal, and so it was so hard to get through it.
Those are two different movies. The one with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Uma Thurman is different from the one with Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones.
Which is the one that has Robin?
Fucking Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy. So Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I think he did it twice. Okay, you guys just mended my relationship with my father because now I have two great memories of him as opposed to one. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate that, ladies and gentlemen. Do we kill, watch, marry this movie?
Yes. Let's go.
PapaNasty first. PapaNasty first.
PapaNasty first.
PapaNasty
Yeah.
first.
Watch.
Aw. Yeah, I
watch
mean,
it?
just watch it. Come on. All right.
I'm not married
That's
to this.
fair.
No, it's a silly film. It's not meant about be marrying. It's just a fun, silly film just to watch when you're just to throw somebody off board. Like it's just a silly film.
Yeah, something you want to watch when you're dissociating.
Yeah.
Want to just not think about anything.
Yeah.
You see something stupid.
Yeah, be absurd. It's 22 years old.
Abraham Lincoln.
It's older than my girlfriend.
Then Abel's girlfriend.
No, no, she's
Yeah,
only a year
exactly. It's
younger
older
me.
than my pubic hair. How about that? Abraham
Wait,
Lincoln.
what?
Abraham Lincoln, what do you got to say?
I'd kill this movie.
No, lean into it. How would you kill it? Tell us how'd you kill this movie.
I'd squeeze its udders until it couldn't fight anymore.
Oh, I'm gonna cry now. Oh, that's awesome.
That's so great. Okay, I'd watch this movie. I would genuinely watch this movie, and strictly because I did the research, maybe I'd watch this movie from afar. Maybe I wouldn't fully appreciate this movie, but then as I watched it develop, as I fully understood the movie, maybe if I had no other options in my entire lifetime, because you know what happens. We all go downhill. We all go downhill just a little bit. Maybe when I'm
Sometimes you need a little slump buster.
you know what I'll tell you? Kung Pao, enter the fist. If you and I aren't married when we're both 50, I'll marry you.
Wait, what?
I'm telling him.
He lost track of where you were going with that.
I'm doing the pact. I'm doing the pact. I watch it now. But if I'm not married and Kung Pao, enter the fist isn't married by the time we're 50 years old, we can get married. That's the pact.
No, we're not getting married, you weirdo.
No, we're not getting married, PapaNasty. I'm getting married to the movie, and you're gonna be the best man.
Okay.
All right, but not now. Absolutely not. Yeah, there's a chance I will put a pillow over its face and kill it, but I give it a solid watch. Potentially a marry once I show it to my children.
You would burn down the house around it.
Okay. Yeah.
I'd throw it down the hill. I'd watch it roll. A lady would pick it up. They'd throw it down the hill.
And then throw it down the next hill.
What we would do is we'd have the movie stand there. We would all get sticks and we would beat the movie until it's unconscious.
I would just love to see you guys pick a film around the same year or even anything before that can hold up to the same level of comedy and just silliness of this film to now.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I don't think
Dumb and Dumber?
You're not wrong.
I don't think there's another film. I mean, maybe other than like, that's not like this is not a mainstream film. This is a film that was briefly in box office, briefly in the theaters, and then that made its money off of off of DVDs and rentals and stuff like that.
It makes money off the DVDs because I don't think it made a profit in the.
No, it still made it made 17 million in the box office. It did make.
So whenever I see something that says cult classic on the Wikipedia, I'm gonna assume that means that it made its name through DVDs and rentals at the local video store.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh no. Okay. First of all, we're roasting you as a bit just because it's hilarious.
We don't like him very much.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like what? No. What's the quote? I don't like him very much. Let's kill him.
Yeah. No, I'm offended. And
Good.
You know what?
No. Okay.
That's what I'm gonna say.
You guys,
Let's end the pod
No.
right there.
I gotta tell you guys real
I'm
quick.
I'm kidding.
No, because you're doubling down on Abraham Lincoln. I'm doing this for the bit. I think I will watch this movie again one day when me and PapaNasty are drunk. But Abel, you took high level math, right? All right.
Yeah.
So tell me real quick. I mean, we don't have to go too hard in it, but I think $10 million invested and $17 million is a profit, right? Did
Yeah.
you know that the box office for The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, the budget was 30 million and they made 29.1 back?
Yeah, I know.
That-
It's because the difference between now and 20 years ago is less people go to the movies in general.
No, I completely agree. I was just finding a fun way to make this a bit. This isn't even a good bit. Now I'm sad. I made me sad.
It's like even decently successful movies these days barely make their money back.
No, you're not wrong. And also the Unbearable Weight is
Like the
critically
Fall Guy
acclaimed.
was fucking amazing and it didn't even make a profit.
It broke even kind of thing, or?
No, it lost money. The Fall Guy lost
Oh yeah,
money.
we're at the end of the episode. This is when we're chatting. You guys are doing a good job, first of all. And we did that I'm ruining it. I'm ruining the illusion.
I mean, like, I could talk all day about the death of cinema and like how people just don't go to the movies anymore because they'd rather just wait for it to come out
Do you
on
still
streaming.
go to the movies? I go to
Yes.
the movies. PapaNasty, do you go to the movies?
Oh, all the time. I love to.
You know what? We are keeping cinema alive vouchers, so you guys know.
I mean, we're a film podcast. We'd be hypocrites if we didn't go to the fucking movies.
I haven't been to the movies in 7 years. Fuck you, you're fired. That's what we would. That's what we would say.
When did Endgame come out? Endgame came out 7 years ago? I don't know.
Dude, me and PapaNasty went to that movie together. Was it Endgame or was it
Yeah.
the? Oh yeah, it was Endgame, wasn't it?
It was Endgame.
Yeah, we sat in line for that movie.
That was
We
wild.
cheered with the people.
I remember when I went to see Infinity War with Lily. After we walked out, we were like, kind of wild that they killed off the Black Panther and the Black Panther's still showing right across on the other side of the theater. Because the Black Panther was still in theaters when Infinity War came out. And I'm like, damn, his movie just came out and they immediately killed him off.
Why is that the horror movie trope that they're putting in superhero movies? Oh no, that's wild. Hey Abel, you're not giving Fall Guy enough credit. They made 130. It was 130 million dollars to make the movie, and they made 176.9 million dollars.
Oh.
Okay, so that must have been for the total box office run, because when the last I heard of it was like right after its opening weekend, and it was still very down on its returns.
But proportionally, it did as well as Kung Pao Enter the Fist. Let's go! No, dude, we had to give you shit. We had to give you shit as the bit. That's the only reason we gave you shit.
No,
For these next two movies, we better be doing the exact same thing, because
Oh, I'm gonna fucking roast you guys. I can't wait.
I know. No, the thing is, we set him up. We set him up, Abel. So whatever you pick next, because I think your turn's next, right? No. Or well, you did the lighthouse.
Yeah, we're doing the bit before we sign off.
Yeah, we're doing the thing you wanted us to do, which was like the banter at the end.
Yeah, I love it. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna fucking roast you fucks so hard. I can't wait.
It went the lighthouse. It went this one, and so actually, it's my pick again.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm so glad when it's my turn.
Yeah, like legit, I can't even remember what the last thing you picked was.
Godzilla.
Godzilla.
This is. I'm so glad.
So what's your film?
Oh, you guys ready?
Here we go.
Look who's talking.
You piece of shit. I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait.
You know, I'm not picking it because I'm picking it because the reviews are bad, but I'm not picking it because one of the reasons I'm picking it, but it's not the reason I'm picking it, is because this movie came out in the 80s. So although it was a bad movie and it was maybe took them like 10 million to make, it somehow made $300 million, but literally because no one had anything better to do. So if we want to talk about an era of movies when nobody had anything fucking better to do but go to the theater, this is one of those movies.
Like Steven Seagal movies.
Oh. Dude, Steven Seagal's gonna show up to your house tonight and whoop your ass.
I'll fight him and help
No,
you out.
he's
Abel.
too busy sucking Vladimir Putin's dick in Russia, I think.
What? I had no idea.
No, like, isn't he like living in Russia now or something?
No, I didn't
Is
know.
Vladimir Putin in a movie? Because I secretly think he's a badass. I know he's obviously, you're not supposed to like him.
He looks like a stereotypical Bond villain,
Yeah.
but I think that's because he's KGB,
looks like
ex-KGB,
Ex-KGB.
who's the best MC in the XCCCP.
God, I knew it was coming. He looked like he could have played the Baron in Dune.
Dude, he could have, dude.
Be honest.
He could've.
I mean, his name is Vladimir.
Yeah.
Vladimir
Dude, we're onto
Harkonnen.
something here, guys. I think it's about time we call this thing a wrap. Abel's led us into this pod, so I guess he's got to fare us well as well.
Yes.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening. I don't know. How do you say bye? I usually just Irish goodbye this shit and just disappear into the night.
Not today, baby. He doesn't have time to go to the gym. The gym's closed. Now he
Yeah.
has to give.
I went earlier.
He has to give you a proper farewell. Kiss him on the cheek, tell them why you love them, and tell them goodbye.
And tell him the kukui's gonna come and get them if they don't go to bed.
No. I mean, yeah. All right.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. See you later.
Goodbye.
Say bye, everybody.
Later,
One.
guys.
Thank you guys so much. We'll see you again soon.
Appreciate y'all.
That's all, folks.